Hi everyone, Nancy here. It is June 18, 2021, and it is, let me see, it's Friday, and the sun is setting, but it's still very bright out here, but there are a lot of clouds. It did rain, and it is 7:35, just a few seconds before 7:36, and it is plus 21 outside, and that is 69 degrees in US terms. Yes, now I'm beginning to feel a chill. Before it was really warm and muggy, but now there's a cool wind coming through. I think they said it was supposed to rain. Yes, it rained earlier today. Uh-oh, is it raining again? I think it's raining again. Yeah, I think the rain is coming from just ahead of me, and it's coming over this way. I think I can see it. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's raining. I'm not sure anyway, but it's very muggy outside, okay? Muggy means that the air is very heavy with heat. Yes. Anyways, yeah, I think it's raining. Yeah, I think it's raining. Yeah, guys, so you know what? One time I was coming home from, well, actually, first of all, let me ask you, have you guys ever been approached by somebody, a stranger, when you're walking on the street, and they ask you a strange question? Any kind of question, any question that you find that is strange. It's just, why would somebody that doesn't know you walk up to you and ask you a strange question? They don't know you, and you thought it was very bizarre. Yes. So one time I was walking home, and I had just come from the beauty salon, and I left the beauty salon, and then I was going home, and because my house was close to the beauty salon at the time, so the beauty salon is like on this major street, and I crossed over to the other side, and then my house was further, away from, like, the beauty salon was south and my house was north, so when I crossed over to the other side, I had to keep going northbound to reach my house. Yes, anyway, so the moment I reached over to the other side, when I crossed from the beauty salon over to the other side of the street, I started walking, and then I noticed this guy. He started, he was walking towards me, he was just, going on his way, and he was, like, walking towards me. And then right before he passed me, he just walks up to me. Like, he didn't really walk up to me, but he made sure to like slow down. He slowed down, and then he said to me like this. Hold on. Okay, I was just looking down the balcony to see who was beeping their car like that. And so anyway, he says to me, will you take me home? And I just looked at him. I'm like, in my head I was like, what? And then he said, please? And then he smiled. And then he said, I don't eat much. And I just kept going, because my face was like, what? You're asking me to take you home? I don't even know you, And guys, I already knew, everything. I knew everything, what was happening inside of his soul when he asked me that question. I didn't know him. I had no idea who he was. I've never seen him before in my life. Yeah, so I was so shocked, right? But anyway, what he had in mind was something very sinister. Yeah, he wanted me to take him home, but he also had really bad intentions. Like, it didn't matter whether if it was me or somebody else that he had asked to take them home. He had a plan to do something bad to that person. And it wasn't good. Let me tell you, it wasn't good. Now, I wasn't afraid of him. I just thought it was very, I was very shocked because I have never had somebody walk up to me, a stranger, ask me to take them home. I could tell that he was having a hard time. He was having a very hard time, right? And he wanted for somebody to help him, but he also had bad intentions. So, but just because he was having a hard time, I knew he was having a hard time. It doesn't mean that I was going to take him home anyway. Of course not. You don't take home strangers like that. And so that was, I didn't like it, right? I didn't like when he asked me that. What was he thinking to ask me or anybody? Like, does he really think that asking a female that doesn't even know him, does he think that a female that doesn't know him is going to say, yeah, let's go, and grab onto his hand and skip all the way down to her house and say, come on in and stay with me? What was he thinking? He knew that the chances that he was going to ask a female on the street that didn't know him, that she was going to say no. I didn't talk to him. I didn't say anything to him. Like, the expression on my face was a very, like, I kind of smiled, but not, it was not an engaging smile. It was a very awkward smile. The smile was like, huh? And then when he saw the expression on my face, then the expression on his face changed from a smile to, yeah, I know, it's a stupid question, yeah, and he just kept going. That's the expression that he had on his face after he asked me if I would take him home because he doesn't eat much. So he understood that what he was asking me, a female that didn't know him, he understood that the question that he was asking me was absurd, and it was also insane, right? He understood that I knew that his question was insane, right? But behind that, behind his question, I'm telling you, I saw what was inside of him. Okay, there was darkness in him. He had sinister intentions. Okay, he was dangerous. So, hopefully there aren't any other people out there who would actually take him in, because they may not be able to see, into a person's soul to see what they're about. You understand? Of course you're not going to say, yeah, let's go. I'm going to give you an opportunity. In most cases, the person, whether it's a guy or a girl, in most cases, they're going to say no, because they don't know the person. They don't know the person. Only God knows what's going on inside of them, who they are. So, but if you can see inside that person's soul, then of course you can tell, right? You can say, well, in your head, no, I'm not going to, no, you're not coming to my house and I'm not going to help you. By the way, in case you can hear a cat meowing, I don't know if you can hear, but my cat is meowing very loud. She's so strange. She's just at the door inside, wanting me to take her out here. But the thing is, I guess it's kind of my fault. You see, about 20 minutes ago, she had been asking me to let her out onto the balcony. Remember, guys, I don't let my cat out onto the balcony by herself. I always come out here with her. I would never leave my pets out here. That's stupid. And it's dangerous. And so I was telling, I was at the computer and I was having a snack, and Uma comes up to me into my room. She says, Nancy, can you please let me out? Well, the way they ask you, right? And I said, Uma, hold on, okay? Just a minute. Just let me have a snack. And then she left again. And so I was taking too long. So by the time I was finished, I went to the kitchen, and then she walked over to me because she was in the living room, and she was asking me again, please take me out. And she was then heading towards the door. And I said, Uma, just hold on a minute. I have to wash some dishes. Then I still wasn't finished. I had to go back into my room and clean off some crumbs, some cookie crumbs that were on the little table that I was eating from. So all of that took a lot of time. And by the time I was finished, Uma was already sitting back in her bed. And I said, okay, Uma, let's go. And she didn't want to come outside. And I was standing at the door, and I said, okay, well, come on, let's go. And I would open the door, and she wouldn't pay attention. And so now, almost 20 minutes later, she's asking me to let her out. But I can't because I'm out here. So before I go back inside, I will let her in. This little kitty cat. But it was, like I said, it was my fault. Anyway, yeah, guys, so, sometimes even if we don't understand if the person is a bad person, even if we can't see, something tells you inside your soul, something like inside your heart, inside, like in the middle of, like that, right in between between your ribs, at the top, like right where your heart is, in that hole there, where your heart is, right there, like beneath your heart, or right on top of your heart, right in between your rib cage, beneath your heart, right, something there, or in your stomach, something around your torso tells you, like a really strong sensation, no, that there's something not right here. That is your discernment. That's your spirit telling you there's something wrong. Now, guys, some people think that your discernment is your opinion. Your discernment is not your opinion. Your discernment is a supernatural gift that God has given to you to help you to understand what is dark and what is light, like what is from the dark side and what's from the light, right? Like when somebody asks you a question and they ask you, what do you think about this thing? What do you think? You can say, well, I think this. That's your opinion, right? Now, if somebody asks you, what do you think? Shall I go to this store to buy my my school supplies, and shall I go, to go there and buy my school supplies and some other things that I'm needing for my art class, right? Shall I go there? And if you're somebody who has a very developed discernment, your gift is very developed, okay, in your discernment, then you can easily say to your friend, no, don't go there. Don't go there because it's not going to be a good experience for you. So I suggest you go to this one. I happen to know this one here is very good. Okay, that is your God has enabled you to use His ability to know things about a certain thing, even if you've never been there. You understand? Like, I'll give you an example. I use my discernment to guide me as to which stores I should buy things at, which people I should approach about if I want to ask for the time. Like, I carry a watch, but if, for example, there was a time when I didn't have my watch because I needed a battery, or a long time ago, and when I needed to know the time, I would just ask people, but I would know which persons to ask, right? Some people would be like, I could see inside their soul. Some of them were mean, some of them they were very irritable, so I would avoid them, and I would go to another person that I could see their soul. They're very pleasant and they're very sweet and helpful, so I would go to them. Okay, so this is when your discernment is more developed. Okay, now my discernment is still developing, it's still growing. Okay, so that's what I mean by, right, when there's a difference between your discernment and your opinion. Your opinion is what you think, okay? Your discernment, when you tell somebody And when you give somebody an answer that comes from your discernment, it's because God is giving you, like God has already, like the gift of discernment that God has given to you, right, has been developed to the point where you just know supernaturally. You just have the answer that God already knows about that situation. Do you understand? Okay, so that's the difference between your discernment and your opinion. Your opinion is just what you think. It's just an opinion. Okay, and so your discernment, it's giving you spot on answers because it's a supernatural ability to know as easily as God knows about that situation. All right, so yes, and many times, hold on. Yeah, so sometimes when people approach me to ask me questions, like for example, this was last year. I was walking, it was shopping day, grocery shopping day, and I was walking to the bank. Was this either in September or... No, it wasn't September. It was between June of last year, sometime past June of last year, June, July, or August, something like that. So I was walking, guys. I was just walking towards the bank. And the bank is a good distance. It's, well, I mean, it is a very, very long walk, but for me, it's not long. It's like 10 minutes to walk to the bank from where I was living last year. So I was, walking down, right, towards the bank. And just ahead of me, I saw this guy. I saw this guy, right? And I already knew that he was going to approach me to ask me a question. I didn't know him, but I already knew that I saw in his soul that he wanted to ask me a question. And right away I said, like what I saw in him, he also had some darkness in him. Right? And I said, oh no, here we go again. Not that it happens a lot, because the first time when that guy asked me to take him home, that happened a long time ago. Like that happened, when did that happen? That happened in the 90s, like in the late middle 90s. Yeah. So anyway, so there I was, and walking towards the bank, and there's that guy just ahead of me. He was half a block ahead of me, and he was, I could see already what's going on with him. I said, no, I don't want you coming to me. I don't want anything to do with you, okay? You just, I want nothing to do with you. So as soon as I, passed by, right, he kind of approached me a little bit. He approached me, but not like to violate my space. He just kind of, walked over a little bit, approached me a little bit. And I forget the question that he asked me. But he asked me a question, and I think it was about a direction or something like that, right? He asked me a question. I forget. So he asked me a question. And as I was passing by, right before I passed him by, like I said, he approached me a little bit and he asked me a question, and he was a little bit drunk. And the moment he asked me the question, I just, in a very firm, in a very firm, authoritative voice, I said no, or something like that. But it was, I either said no or I don't know or something like that. But it was, I made him understand, I want nothing to do with you. And I just kept going. And when I walk, guys, I walk fast. Right? It depends on where I'm going. Okay, so guys, when you want people to, understand that you want nothing to do with them, you just keep going your way and have some authority in the way you speak, in the way you express yourself, and even in the way you walk. Walk like, you are going somewhere, so walk like you're going somewhere, and people will understand. Okay, they have no time for me. So I just kept going. And the thing is, he was drunk, and it was early in the morning. Because when I go do grocery shopping, I get up, I get up early, right? And I leave early in the morning. The bank opens, well, that bank opened at, okay, now that they have regular hours, I think for me, it's late, 9 o'clock. But then when the virus hit, they changed their hours to 10 o'clock, right? So then it was already like maybe 15 minutes to 10 o'clock by the time I was walking to the bank. Yes. So that's another time, when somebody just walks up to me, and somebody walked up to me and asked me, I don't know, so it was a question, guys. It was a question that really had nothing to do with like his reason for coming up to me to ask me the question had nothing to do with the question that he asked me. He wanted me to engage him, and he wanted me to spend time with him. That's what I saw in his soul. That's what I saw from him the moment I saw him ahead of me. I said, I know what he's up to, and no, it's not going to happen. So guys, people like that annoy me. And I don't care that they're drunk. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're walking around on the streets, understanding what they're doing, right? And the thing is, it's very interesting because a drunk person, I guess, depending on the level of, of them being drunk, they're going to understand what they're doing. Like this person here was drunk, but what I saw in their soul was that they were still they were fully aware, mentally conscious of their actions, their words, their intentions. They were very, very aware. They were alert. They understood what they were doing. Okay, so that he was even like, his walk was not stable. He wasn't stumbling, but his walk was not stable. That kind of thing annoys me. It annoys me. So I don't remember what else. I don't know what else questions, some strange thing that somebody walked up to me and asked me. I don't remember what other questions I've been asked, but yeah, just stuff like that, guys. Of course, I don't let it bother me, but it can be a little bit irritating, when people are walking up to you and asking you questions that have nothing to do with the help that they're supposedly asking of you. Like the first guy, asking me to take him home because he doesn't eat a lot. He wasn't asking me to take him home to feed him. He was asking me to take him home because he had wicked intentions. So hopefully nobody took him home. I don't think anybody did, but hopefully nobody took him home, because there are people out there, guys, who are they are so, like they don't understand about the boundaries that you should be keeping between yourself and strangers who are claiming that they need help. And even if they need help, they also have a wickedness to them. They're going to take advantage of your house and your food and all that, and then they're going to do something bad to you. Some people just say, oh yeah, let's just come on. I believe in the Lord, and the Lord says, I never turn anyone away who comes to me, so I can't say no. That's being stupid, because you have to use your wisdom. Okay, that's stupid and foolishness. Okay, you have to understand that you just because the Lord says you have to be good to people doesn't mean that you have to park your brain at your house before you leave. You have to use your brain wherever you go. Right? We can't be stupid about being followers of Christ, because that's not how Christ is raising us to be. You have to understand. That's why God says, He says, use your discernment. Use your discernment so that you can understand. You have the ability to tell, what's from the darkness and what is from him, from the light. Your discernment is used. You use your discernment to help yourself and your family and your friends and even strangers. Okay? Because your discernment is there for a reason. It's there to help you tell the difference between dark and light. That's why you just don't say, "Oh, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Lord. Everybody can come and live at my house." That's really stupid. That's stupid. That's why God gave us discernment. Okay? Because if a person comes up to you and says, "I need help," you will be able to tell through your discernment, is what this person is telling me, is it a lie or is it real? And if it's real, you will also you'll be able to tell. And God may not necessarily want you to take them home, right? You have to use your wisdom and say, "Okay, I have some information. Let me look it up here on my phone. Here's some information. Here's the phone number, and call this number," right? Even if your discernment tells you this person is a safe person, it doesn't mean that it's your job to take them in. Okay? It doesn't always mean that it's your job to take them in. God is just putting you in that person's path to guide them as to where they should go to get the help that they need. That's how it works. That's how it works, guys. So, anyways, it is now 26 minutes, and I'm going to end here. I'm going to go back inside, and I'm going to retire for the night because I'm an early bird. It's 8 o'clock, but I wanted to retire by 7. Yes. Yeah, it's really cloudy out here. One more thing before I go. I'm wearing my sunglasses, right, because it was so bright. And what I've noticed, guys, for a long time is that when there are a lot of clouds out there, I put on my sunglasses, of course, and I look up at the sky, and I am able to tell the definition of looking at the clouds through the sunglasses, through the lens of a dark sunglasses. You can see the definition of clouds, and it's really amazing. So guys, go outside or just look through your window. I'm talking fast because I don't want to get cut off. My camera stops recording at 29 minutes and 49 seconds. Yes, guys, so look through your window, or when the next time you're outside, look up at the sky. Of course, don't look directly at the sun. Just look at the sky away from the sun and look at the clouds. And you can see the definition of the clouds. Like, remove your sunglasses, okay, and then put them back on again. And you can tell the difference between what the clouds look like when you have them on versus when you have them off. And it's really amazing because I never realized, how much definition there is to the clouds, just by looking at them through dark sunglasses. And by the way, the best color to look through is amber. It's the most soothing color for the eye. And the darker the amber, the better. Amber is very soothing. Do you guys remember that there used to be amber colored computer fonts, like the letters? They were amber. Remember, those were like the old computers, right? But now they're white. But anyway. So just remember that, guys. Get amber colored lenses. They're the best. They're like so soothing. It's comforting. It's therapeutic. And just look with the amber colored lenses. You can really see the definition of the clouds. It's amazing. I do that when I walk down the street. When I go shopping, I just look up. Yeah, and up until I moved into like a high rise or whatever, I never paid attention to the clouds, because when you're up really high, you can see the skyline and all the clouds and everything, but when you're down on the ground, you're always looking down. So when I go shopping, I always look up. And I'm like, I can't believe I was missing all this. Yeah, so do that, guys. Look up. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Muchas gracias por venir. Lo quiero a todo mundo. Thank you so much for coming. I love everybody. God bless you. Don't forget to click subscribe and then on the bell so you won't miss any videos that I upload. I love you. God bless you. Ciao, ciao.